Grydscaen Sentinels Bloodline Audio Drama Chapter 1 Part 2 by Natsuya Uesugi. Episode Blue-Eyed Twins. Echelons, Shizuoka Ghetto, The Maze, alleyway near Runner's Data Drop Retention Wall. Gasping, Rom slapped the wall, racing through puddles, changing direction. The glow from the neon sign reflecting off the damp pavement, radioactive dust twinkling in the air. Raindrops clicking against the metal overhang. Rom was a runner, a data messenger who smuggled data and psi-inducer drugs for the pack-rat cyber-terrorist hackers. Pulling the hood of his black sweatshirt up over his head as he flicked the collar of his dirty trench coat, he punched in the scrambler on his handheld and squared his shoulders, slipping through the tight corridor at the back alley off Haven 15, deep in the Echelon slums. An armed biker on a black Chie Falcon motorcycle had been chasing him for the last 10 minutes. The fit tight, he snuck through, breathing a sigh of relief. Glancing back as the motorcycle ran up on the corridor, tires screeching, the biker flicked his helmet visor up, revealing haunting, pale blue eyes that shined. The biker pointed a damper gun at Rom, trying to neutralize his psychic power, render him immobile. The biker's telltale eye shine was that of a SenseNet off-world clone, his hate-laced sending making Rom's teeth itch. The biker's path, forward blocked, damper beeping sporadically, unable to lock on. The scrambler interrupted his psi signature, rendering it unreadable. The intel said his contact would arrive riding a red Chie Falcon motorcycle. The rider after him now drove a black machine. Cursing under his breath, the biker slapped down his visor, spinning the back tire, abandoning the chase, swerving away. Shoulder-scraping bricks as he squeezed through the crack, Rom emerged onto an alley in the Shizuoka Ghetto's blank, dead sector, unsafe at night. The sign for the maze hanging high over the center of the street, Rom scanned the alleyway, sensing people hidden in corners as he tried to get his bearings in the chaotic jumble of nonsense side streets. The scatter of cryptic dead ends littering this sector, the maze, was a good way to get lost, meet an unsavory end. The walls of the dilapidated buildings, riddled with bullet holes from constant skirmishes between the black market Yakuza organization Clanet and the DNA data pirates known as the Black Holes. The two gangs ruled the area. He caught a shining pair of eyes staring back at him, hidden in the dark near a blown-out window, the black blast radius outlining the broken glass. A subtle reminder of the aftermath of the devastation when the autocratic Atlantia Federation attacked, shattering the thriving metropolis and thrusting the area deep into collateral damage, the evils of war. Obliterated by the Dionysus Effect nuclear bomb, there was a reddish haze in the air from lingering radiation. The mashup of damaged structures remained unstable, high-rises crashing randomly, imploding as the port pillars disintegrated into dust. The maze designed to disorient, Rom scanned the sector with his Codus, the aegis manifestation of his psychic power sputtering about his fingers as he sensed homeless teens clocking him hidden in corners, blanks cautious, just trying to survive. He tread carefully, trying not to spook them, knowing they'd attack and kill him if he wandered too close. Knowing the unspoken rules, he caught the shine of a switchblade flicked from an agile wrist. Tensing as he eyed the teen who glared back at him, he looked away, making sure not to start something he couldn't finish. A sickly orange streetlight flickered overhead, greeting him as he gained his bearings, setting into a run, taking the corner. A deep puddle splashing wastewater on his camouflage navy pants. His steel-toed combat boots and tan trench coat were soiled with gray, sticky radioactive dust. He picked up the pace, the deadline approaching, needing to catch the meat. Stim implants above his right eye snaking over his forehead in the typical data messenger uniform, his gear was a dead giveaway of his faction as the pack-rat runner. Shouting from anti-government protesters assaulting, the cacophony filtered from the nearby main street as he continued down the forgotten alley. The civil war started by charismatic leader Fade Callan of the Pack Rats was the current response of psychic hacktivists in the social justice movement. The Pack Rats and their factions dedicated their lives to free the echelons from oppression, the parliament recently declaring psychics objects less than human. The protests poured out into the streets, sparking the hacker revolution. Taking a side street, Ram arrived at the runner's drop wall. Shining his handheld on the concrete blocks, he ran his index finger between the bricks, fingernail slipping into a cubbyhole, catching the cold metal tip of an object hiding inside. Pinching it, he pulled the long gunmetal pin drive free, scanning it with his handheld, the data showing it was an encrypted key preset to his runner's avatar code. Tapping his handheld, reading the key, the drive responded as it chimed with a capacity reading, noting every byte of storage was in use. Not typical for a data run, the drive held a full 2 terabytes of data as the handheld flashed a data seepage warning, which got him curious, noticing dried blood caked on the casing. The data priceless he would be carrying, all he knew was that it could take down the elite government. A data seepage warning meant whoever risked transferring the data to the pin drive left nothing to chance, was willing to die for the code on the drive. The fact that the delivery location had changed after the mission started at the last minute meant the target he was to meet had probably been killed. The last minute change provoking fear by the customer, ordering a substitute instead of calling the run off. Internalizing the threat, he was hyper-vigilant, readying himself for anything. The handheld beep alerting him to a second problem. He needed a decrypt sync key to read the data. The information on the drive hashed nonsense, unreadable. Biting his lip, he gripped his right hand, the aegis sparking at his fingernails, pain radiating from his knuckles running up both arms as he lost control of his psychic power. The phenomenon known as psycrit, it was a result of the illegal-era experiments the government performed on him when he was detained and arrested for hacking Parliament. He had become addicted to neurosine to stave off the lethal nerve damage, keep the psycrit at bay, unable to wean off the narcotic psi-inducer drug. Yet, necessity, it was the only thing keeping his CODIS power in check. He pulled a black neurostim cigarette out of a metal case, biting the end, triggering a puff of purple smoke, breathing in the fumes of the drug, medical-grade neurosine mist, the psi-inducer enhancing his CODIS. It dulled the pain as he regained control. Turning his palms over, the aegis subsided, the psychic energy swirling about his fingertips, settling as his fried nerves calmed. When they arrested him in the city for hacking Parliament, the government had wiped his memory, robbing him of his personality, his history, even his name, throwing him out on the street. Waking up on the sidewalk face down in the sewer, he had no idea who he was or where he came from. His psi unstable from the harsh experimentation, he frequently lost control of his power, having to rely on the neurosine to stay alive and not go psychic, fry his synapses. And it was only the pack rats making that possible. Fade Callan, the Psycho, leader of the pack rats, saved him after he'd been beaten on the streets. The factions protected him, giving him a home in their underground hive, their safe haven, the pack rat spawn. But it was the maintenance, the neurosine, that was his lifeline, taken daily to keep his psi in check. To ensure neurosine access, aligning with the pack rats and joining the runners faction, pledging himself to uphold the faction's communal laws and the pack rat code, he devoted himself as a runner to Fade's hacker revolution. Otherwise, he would be as good as dead. He took a deep breath, sucking in the purple smoke as the drug heightened his senses, the narcotic enhancing his sight, his hearing more acute, his perception heightened. Sticking out his tongue, a taste in the air, sensing someone close. He caught a tingle, a familiar feeling. A psychic was on him, tracking, close. The ambient sounds of the alleyway dialing in, Rom picked up the faint hum of a Ketic engine moving towards him as the light shimmered at the puddle beneath his feet. Glancing up, following the glow, the round motorcycle headlight lit up the dark alley, coming around the corner, bearing down on him fast. The headlight shut off as a red Shie Falcon motorcycle screeched to a dead stop in front of him. The lanky driver in a black leather jacket cut the engine. He was met by eerie pale blue eyes of the preteen riding the back, the kid wearing a navy blue student jumper for Junior Off-World Terraforming Academy for future architects in the colonies. The kid was white as porcelain, wearing high black combat boots as if he'd never seen the sun. Hair shining a bright blue, matching his unnatural eyes, the kid released his fingers, leaning back, showing off a purple blaster hanging from a lanyard at his neck. The weapon able to render a psychic unconscious, he wondered why the kid had it as he braced himself, unsure of the two teen bikers. Rom engaged. Elite colony weapon? Rom read his handheld, scanning the runner's app, identifying the blue-eyed twins as off-world clones from the Pacific Territory's Juniper colony. Bit far from home. Juniper's that way, pointing to the sky. The tall teen in the red and black motorcycle jacket flipped the visor on his helmet up, revealing a sarcastic smirch and a ghastly porcelain face, perfect features of a clone. No human genetics able to produce such symmetry, such beauty. The teen biker closed his eyes, nose twitching, raising his chin, answering Rom's slight. Neuro seems nice in the dark. Can't get medical grade off-world, only down planet. The real stuff's on-prem, human flawed, on-world, of course. The biker met Rom's eyes. I'm Sati, kid's blue. You Rom? Stalling, Rom took a long drag, inhaling, then dropped the fag, grinding it under his foot. So, Sci-Faction sends clones, not any clones, psychic clones. My app not reading a Psi signature on you two. Blocked. I feel you. Codis users can't hide. Blue's eyes give you away. You're just kids. What happened to my contact? Blue slapped the back seat of the motorcycle. What the hell, just kids? You're no older than me, 16. Got problems with clones? Wanna die? Fact. Blue's eyebrows furrowed, shaking his fist. My fight's as good as yours, on-world runner. Sati interrupted. Calm, Blue. This one's off-colony, mainland. Doesn't understand. Just ignore him. The Atlantic Federation murdered your contact on the way to meet you. They don't like leaks. We're your contacts now. All I'll tell you. Determining Sati was truthful, Rom gave his passphrase. Disposable humans born in blood sacrifices destroyed by greed. We are... Sati blinked, his handheld chiming, confirming the passcode. We are Sentinels. Clones bleed binaries on grydscaen skins for the hacker revolution. This is who we are. Rom nodded as his handheld chimed, confirming Sati's voice print matched, triggering the 5-minute meet countdown. Yeah, I'm Rom. We got 5 minutes. Why the mission intercept? Sati unzipped his jacket, chucking a data card. Fumbling to catch it, the silver data card bounced wild between Rom's hands. Finally catching it, he noticed the embedded chip shined red with blue shadows and dull light hologram, exposing hidden text. Angling the polymer, the hologram projected over the card as he ran his finger over the chip, triggered by his DNA, as details about the data displayed. Nina Satellite Family Program? Data messengers never know the data they're carrying. Why now? Sati went into his pocket, flicking a round golden token that pinged as it hit the ground by Rom's shoe, spinning as it came to rest. Tokens tagged your DNA. 15-second holo delivery code. One shot, pay attention, no delivery, no pay, get going. Sati crinkled his nose, sniffing loudly, then shot a glance behind him to the front of the alley, eyes narrowing, a frown snaking across his face. Zone police coming. Their cybernetics reek of rancid animal flesh. All synthetic, nothing that dirty on the colonies. Like them, Renner, you stink of on-world decay too. I'll stick with Juniper. Slapping his visor down, revving the engine, Blue jumped off the back of the motorcycle as Sati raced off down the alley. The black bike that had been chasing Ram earlier entered, following. Sati spinning, tires screeching as he quick-turned, racing back to intercept. Jumping in front of Ram, Blue crouched feet wide, firing at the black motorcycle as it bared down on them. The black biker's bullets buzzing past Ram's ear as time stood still. Sati zoomed past Ram as Blue grabbed onto the back of the motorcycle, jumping on the back seat, the two speeding away into the night, meet over. The black motorcycle whizzed closer, approaching Ram fast. The biker, pulling a gun, fired, hitting Ram in the thigh as he raced off after Sati. The recoil slapping him, Ram slammed back into the metal fence, the biker zooming off, disappearing around the corner as Ram tried to regain his bearings from the shock. Stunned, white-hot agony ripping through his leg as he stumbled, trying to keep on his feet. Pupils dilating in shock, his whole body shivered as he tried to keep himself from blacking out as the pain overwhelmed. Slapping his thigh, he cringed, glancing at his fingers, now bloody, shivering as he picked up the yellow token. He touched the center button as a neon blue projection appeared above the coin with a 5-digit alphanumeric code. Delivery code 562415. The Soul Deep, Jet Jockey Underground. Repeating the delivery code over and over, trying to memorize it, he shoved the gold token in his pocket, then typed the code into his handheld. Stumbling forward, he grabbed the wire fence, his steps faltering as he fell to his knees, slapping the concrete, leaving bloody handprints, his strength giving out. Cringing, he rose, lumbering forward, making his way to the street, hand gracing the wall, trying to keep from falling. Limping away fast, zone police sirens looming a street over, he noticed a hidden pair of blue eyes peeking out from behind a trash bin. The yellow streetlight above his head flickered twice, and the bulb exploded, bathing the alley in darkness, the eyes vanishing. He wondered why they were there. Hearing noises at the mouth of the alley behind him, Ram crouched behind the metal dumpster as two zone police motorcycle cops stopped at the intersection of the alleyway, the headlights from their motorcycles shining, able to hear them. "We got a call. Anything down there?" One of the police officers got off his motorcycle and came a few steps into the alley, shining a flashlight. A stray feline darted out from under the dumpster, dashing across the street, slithering into a storm drain, the police officer seeing it. "It's nothing, just some stray cat. Blank's dinner is all." "Right, I'll call it in. HQ report. Zone police officer Xander Storm. Shizuoka Ghetto. The maze. No incidents reported. RTB. Zone police headquarters. 15 minutes. The two zone police drove off, leaving Ram in the alley. Relieved, Ram realized the hidden pale blue eyes had indeed assisted him, allowing him to get away. Pushing up back to the dumpster, his hand shaking, nursing his thigh, trying to stabilize his leg as he limped forward. He would make his way to the Soul Deep, Jet Jockey Underground, run by Jazz, the neutral hacker informant, who played the black market off the government and toyed with the zone police, wanting to deliver data, finish the job. His reputation as a runner at stake, as Ram struggled down the street. Thank you for tuning in to Chapter 1, Part 2 of the grydscaen Sentinels Bloodline web series audio drama. Hope to see you soon. Thanks.